Hello, my name is Tine and welcome to another laser video. This time I'll try to review a bit different engraver. It's LaserPecker 2. That's the packet I received. Shipping label said that its weight is 5 kg. Dimension of box you can see here. There is also a logo on outer box, which usually tells us that the product is on a bit higher quality level, but not always. When I opened the box I instantly seen what I expected. There's another two boxes with fancy photos, some QR codes and basic infos on them, and additionally wrapped with plastic foil. By this kind of package I know that the quality of this engraver is on another level, like Apple, DJI, Xiaomi, Blitzwolf and other brands. I got here two boxes, one with third axis for cylindrical engraving and more, and other with LaserPecker 2 engraver, plus they add some testing papers and a marker. But just look at that boxes. I call that quality on first view, also if I even haven't seen a product yet. I hope I will not be disappointed. Let's open the box now and check what's inside. Firstly I will only test the engraver, third axis will unbox later. We got here a big protective sponge and each part perfectly fits to its place, so everything is well protected. Now check a bit closer what we get into engraver box. We got here short and really clear English manual with all the information we need. 10 thick testing papers, whiteboard marker with fine and white tip, 12 volt 5 amp power supply, testing piece of plywood and inox plate, a ruler, two USB cables type C, protection shield with removable quality fan powered via USB cable, and protective glasses. And of course we got here compact laser engraver, bottom plate and powered lifting device. When I spoke about quality feeling I wasn't wrong. We can notice the product quality everywhere, on every touch. Laser is quite heavy for its size. Housing is a combination of anodized aluminum and plastic. It's very solid. I hoped I can open them to check inside, but it doesn't have a single screw. On top it got a handle and two touch buttons. On front side it got a LED indicator. From back side we got power port, USB-C port for PC connection, two basic USB port to power supply the add-ons and removable dust filter. On bottom we got three grooves for mount the protective shield, window where the laser coming out, hole where the cooling air from the laser blowout, mounting treat and some rubber, so we don't scratch anything if we put it on flat surface. Also on lifting device I noticed the same thing, quality everywhere. Mounting screw can be removed and lost, it just turns around with minimal backlash. Knobs got nicely finished and great grip. One is for mounting the laser and other to set the tilting of laser. Focus height gauge running nice with evenly resist. From back side we got USB-C plug to supply the lifting device and from side we got two touch buttons for lifting up and down. If you check a bit closer we can notice all these shiny chamfers on aluminum housing, glass touch buttons and so on. Power plug and USB are quality with tough fit. And if you look the mounting treat closer we can notice steel spring inside of aluminum housing, so the treat doesn't damage. There are a lot of details like that, many users won't even notice, but impact to production price and end quality. I already mentioned how smooth and evenly focus gauge arm running, but that's not all, it also got a magnet inside so it won't falling down also after years of use. Tilting mechanism got some kind of gear inside, so we can set it in any position, but on every 18 degree. It means that it won't slip and change its angle in any case. Here we can see that the treat has bearing and on each side is tiny limit switch. Assembling of that engraver is unbelievably easy. On base plate there is a groove where the lifting device fits perfectly, so you can mount it wrong. Then there is only two screws to fix the lifting device on base plate. Then just screw the laser to a lifting device, which got another square in the holder, where the laser fit and hold the right angle, so we can mount the laser on few positions by 90 degree. Now take a short USB cable and connect lifting device to one of output on the laser. Plug power supply to its port and voila! Laser engraver waiting to connection while lifting device already working. With short touch of a button we move up or down the laser for 1 mm. With long press laser will go fully up or down until it reaches the limit switch, or we stop with a short touch again. If you want to use protective shield, which is very useful, simply hook it under the laser and connect fan cable to another USB port. Fan itself is quite loud, but we'll see later that it's very effective also, and it turns off while laser not working. Next step is prepare the PC and install software. Connect another USB cable to a PC port on engraver and a PC. Firstly, I try on my mini laptop, but can't make it work on Windows 7 with cable connection. I would need a USB Bluetooth dongle to make it work, but because I don't got one, I take daughter's PC with Windows 10 on it. Then go to LaserPecker website, tap Guide, Download, and then download software for Windows PC. Installation go through without any problem, and we don't need any drivers for the laser to get it work. When we open LaserPecker software for the first time, we need to register new user and then it's ready to use. Software offers us basic drawings of different shapes, lines, patterns, manage images and so on. It supports also CNC files. When we draw what we want, click on laser icon and new page of software will open. On that side we set the laser engraver, like type of material we want to engrave, so we got presetted power and speed for different materials, but still can set laser power and speed, resolution of engraving, positioning and so on. When everything is prepared and set we can start engraving. Software all the time reminds us with different messages, like save the image before go to engraving window. If we set a bit higher power it reminds us that it can be powerful cut. Before start framing remind us to wear protective glasses, and on every first startup we also need to type some code before laser start framing. Software also got built-in QR and basic code generator, and here we can see that it works also with DXF files. Software is okay for basic job to be done, but honestly it's far from Lightburn, which is not compatible with LaserPecker engraver. I won't show you all the details about software because it's very easy to use. Then here's also a phone app, we can find it on Google Play. Also if I got quite old phone, app work without issues. Also connection is amazingly fast until we got turned on Bluetooth and location. Best on that app is that it works with almost zero delay, machine responds on every button instantly. The app itself is quite powerful. There are some example photos, we can take photo with the camera or choose one out of gallery. Then we can edit photos in many ways, like pencil drawing effect, grayscale and so on. App can also produce a G-code out of image, but that may need a bit better phone, because mine need a while to process, depend on how many details we set. It also got Creation tab, where we make simple titles, drawing and so on. App is so great that I didn't even use a PC, but do almost every test with a phone app. The only thing I miss on the app is tool for drawing simple shapes like square and circles for G-code cutting. We can also set focal height via phone app, positioning the engrave, and on the end select preset material or set power of laser and depth of engrave, which is basically engraving speed. It also got code generator, few different text options for CNC cut the letters or fill and so on. App is so easy to use, I won't explain every details. When we click start button, every file upload on machine before start engraving. I leave the room many times with phone without problems, but when I make some bigger engrave and take phone out of Bluetooth range, it didn't finish the engrave. Okay, so far we saw the laser itself and a bit of software. Let's try to make some engrave now. First of all, we need to set focus. There are 3 ways to set focus on LaserPecker. First one is using the protective shield. If we lower down the lifting device till the limit switch with protective shield on it, there will be just about 0.5 mm of space between shield and bottom plate, which is just fine for paper engraving, and that's the focus point. If you engrave thicker material, we need to be careful when going down, because limit switch won't stop the lifting device. Second way is to using a ruler. So we set 12 cm between the material we want to engrave and the edge of engraver. And the third option is to using focusing arm gauge, so we lower down the laser until it touches the surface of engraved material. Before we continue, I need to tell something many of you already know. The main difference between the LaserPecker and other lasers I try is in laser positioning system. If we look the basic laser here, we can see that the laser model moving around with 2 motors by X and Y axis. So the laser is always perpendicular to the material, which is good for cutting, but much slower for framing and engraving. We call that XY type of laser. But if we check the LaserPecker, we can see that the laser beam just come out of window, without visible moving parts. But if we look closer, we can see inside of laser 2 mirrors, one for X and other for Y axis. We call that galvo mirrors type. So if we move that mirror for just a bit, laser beam on material move a lot. That means that we can reach incredible speeds. LaserPecker reach almost 4000 mm per second of framing speed and 600 mm of engraving speed. Bad thing about that is that the laser is perpendicular to material only at center of working area. More we closer to the edge of working area, bigger is angle of beam on material. And also focus distance changing when we go out of center. Galvo mirrors are basically used on expensive fiber lasers to engrave metal materials. That's why I call the LaserPecker a laser engraver, not a laser cutter. But it got 5 watt laser diode, so let's try what can be cutted. Great function of that laser is framing. It is so fast that we can see entire edge of framing, so positioning is super easy and accurate. Basic white paper cut easily. Also medium 0.3 mm paper cut like butter. And also heavy 0.4 mm thick paper cut in a single pass. Then I tried 2 mm balsa, which cut in a single pass. Three mm spruce wood cut in 2 passes with 100% laser power and 100% cutting depth. Here we can also see how good the fan blow fumes out of working area. 3 mm plywood cut in 3 passes. Then I tried to cut 4 mm balsa, which was the limit. I tried to cut a bit bigger shape, so you can see the effect of galvo mirror laser type. On thin material like paper we won't notice the angle of cut. If we cut smaller shape on center of working area, edge will be cut at minimal angle, but if we cut a big thick shape we can easily notice the angle of cut. After that I can say it's good for cut different kind of papers and wood up to 3 mm. We may get better result with honeycomb mat, but there's no way to install air assist on galvo mirror type laser. Let's try to make some engraves now. Firstly I engrave some grayscale image on MDF material, like usual, so you can compare the engrave. Because I engrave on flat surface I can remove the lifting device and use only laser with protective shield. It engrave image in about 40 minutes, but make lot of nonsense move, because I got JPG file with white background. PNG file will save lot of time. After all, I can say that the engrave is comparable with best engrave I make so far with 3.5 watt laser. If we engrave in 2K resolution, we need to set lower depth of engrave or lower down the laser power, because on high resolution laser make more lines, which mean more power. Like other lasers about 3.5 watt, also this one is too powerful to make evenly grayscale engraving to soft spruce wood, but make a nice deep engrave in any kind of wood, hard or soft. Then I tried to engrave some tough anodized aluminum. Some laser I tried wasn't even touched the anodized surface, because it's really tough, but the LaserPecker done this in a single go. When I try with higher resolution, the effect of galvo mirrors show again, so we need to set 2 paths to get perfect engrave. Plus engrave in center of working area. But it's nice sample to see the difference between 1K and 2K resolution. Then I tried to engrave on inox steel, even if the app warned me to not engrave on reflective surface, and the result was quite good in a single go, but if I engrave with 3 passes, the engrave was amazing. Then I tried to make some engrave also on leather and got amazing result. I was wondering why it engrave better like basic engravers I try. I would say that the trick is in not perfect focus. We can see that the spot is quite big on 40 cm distance, so the edges wasn't so sharp that we'll see every line on engrave. Then I tried to engrave also some sponge and colored paper with different settings, and got many different types of engraves. If you use phone app, prepare that you get full gallery of samples photos, one for each different setting. Laser works just good on mirrors, and actually best laser I try so far to engrave on tiles. It actually make a groove into tiles. I've got also stamp function, which reverse the engrave, so I make some stamps and got really good result with using stamp rubber. Special features of that engraver is that it's light and got a handle, so you can put it on any surface like doors, walls, sofa, even car and so on. Because of phone app we just need a power supply cable, but LaserPecker sells also the power bank for that machine, so it becomes completely wireless and mobile to use just anywhere. For the end I try also tilting function on lifting device. It may look useless, but if we got some bigger angled part to engrave we can do it on that way. LaserPecker tool is really full of combination, we just need some imagination. Okay, so far we've seen many different ways to use the LaserPecker, and now it's time to unlock them to another level, with using electric support track. In that box we can find some rubber rings, another USB cable, mounting clamp and third axis rollers with support wheelies. Also there, same building quality can be feel. Housing is a combination of plastic and aluminium, and the rollers are nicely knurled anodized aluminium. Below is hidden 2 support carriages attached with a magnet, so they fit and grab into side grooves of roller housing. Their bottom is flat, so we can also just put them anywhere on flat working table to support longer piece of wood or whatever we want to engrave. On top each of them got 2 balls which turn nicely in any side. Before I try this add-on I think I need some cylindrical piece of wood, so let's make them. As everything on that laser, also attach of third axis is simple. It got groove on the bottom, so it fits on base plate of a laser. But we're out of USB on the laser now, so unplug the lifting device and with another USB cable connect third axis on that port. Then lifting device connect to USB port on third axis. Before we start engrave, we need to go under options and enable third axis. We got 3 options here. Firstly, I try cylindrical function to engrave cylindrical objects. I want to get engrave all around the cylinder, so I make some method to get proper height of engrave. Result type into height size field and height will be automatically calculated. App also tell us the maximal dimension of chosen image that can be engraved. Before starting engrave I mark a spot on cylinder and click framing to see if my math work. Framing is cool, the laser shows wide line and the rollers turn object from start to end point. In my case it start and stop on marked point, so I can start engrave. math work well. We can't even notice where the start and end point is. Then I tried to engrave some bigger cylinder. It engraved about an hour. Engrave isn't that quality because I set too low power and it's a piece of low quality firewood. There's also a groove on each side of rollers, so we can engrave really tiny cylindrical objects like crayons. Then I tried to engrave also on aluminum can and on glass jar with or without using a marker. The result was good in both ways. Jar was turning without problem, but if we want to improve the grip of glass object to an aluminum rollers, we can use rubber rings which come in few dimensions, so there's no way that the jar will slip on the rollers. We can also tilt the laser to engrave cylinders all the way up to 50 cm diameter. Let's try now support track in slab mode. It's the mode to engrave longer pieces. Take out the support wheels and put it in some logic position to flat surface, so it supports a long piece of wood in my case. Then go to app and under third axis select slab mode. Load the image, type dimensions and click frame. Laser will show engraved wideness and rollers will move by height of engrave. Maximal dimension of engrave in that mode is 100 mm wide and up to 2 meters in height. I had some problems here to engrave because my piece of wood wasn't flat, but was a bit twisted. So in some point it lost grab to the rollers and stopped moving, but I solved the issue with putting some weights on the board. The last one is trolley mode. For that mode we need to remove the laser from lifting device and mount it on backside of rollers with the mounting clamp. Support wheels mount into front two grooves of the roller housing. Into app settings simply select trolley mode and we are ready to go. Upload the image and frame them. In that mode we are without protective shields, so make sure to wear protective glasses all the time you work with the laser. Also this time I have a bit twisted piece of wood with rough surface, so in first attempt laser turned out of its way. I believe that it worked great on totally flat and smooth surface, but in my case where the surface is rough, it worked better without tiny support wheels. Instead then just put some counterweight on the laser so the contact with support track is good. After all, with a bit of simulation it make a nice straight engrave, but I think with rubber rollers we can get better grip to any surface. And that's pretty much it about LaserPecker 2. We could see that we can use the laser engraver in many different ways and combinations, depending on which set we buy. There's basic set, which include only the laser and lifting device. Pro, which is my version, and include also third axis rollers. Deluxe version includes also a power bank for the laser, and Super version which includes also a cutting mat and a fancy bag. It makes some cuts and some amazing engraves. What I really love on that laser is definitely quality of build, and that the things like connection, application and laser itself work as it should, without any issue. If you're looking for the laser to cut thick wood, that's not a laser for you, but I think it's great for some card maker to engrave or cut different types of papers and thin woods, or to make some personal cards, because laser turn out as very well to engrave anodized aluminum. Great thing of that laser is also that it's very small and compact, so I just take out of closet and plug them and do the job, without any special prepare. And of course mobile use. We can use this laser just anywhere, hold them with a hand and do the job. For more information and buy, check the link below in the video description. Thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe if you like, and see you next time.